Thank you for joining us at PositivePower21.org. I'm your host, Jerry Voice. When it's all positive, it's all power. I'd like to thank my sponsors, Purple Rose Empowerment, Holistic Health, and Life Coaching. REI Heritage Tours on the Eastern Shore. If you have a 40-passenger bus, give them a call, and they will take you on a tour of the Underground Railroad of Harriet Tubman, and also the Rock News Magazine. Sit back and enjoy our 3-minute in-studio reality show with Jordan and I, my youngest son. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, we're being reality radio. Well, we got some people coming on in. All right, who we got on the conference? Oh, I gotta put my headphones on. What the heck? What's up, Latrina? Oh, my mic down low. Hold on a second. All right, go again. Oh, there we go. I had to check my mic gain. I got my son in here today engineering the controls, so we doing a videotape, so we reality radio tonight. So we're gonna try something a little different when we run the shows in the video players. Sound? No, it's actually Jordan. Yeah. Try to bring some family light to it and let people see the side of Jerry Royce, the family man. You know how people are right now. They got to see the the realness. You keep showing them the fabulous. They get kind of nervous. All right, we got somebody else in here. We have Valerie Moore. We got the Val. Dr. Val is in the house. What's up? She must be on mute. She must have muted herself. Hey, Dr. Val, can you hear us? There you go. How you doing? I'm doing fine. We have Latrina in here from Detroit. All right, we got somebody else just joined us. We got the one and only Mark Graham is in the house. Doing fine. All right, so we about ready for showtime. So, Valerie, you want to say hi to Mark before I put you on mute? Good. All right, Valerie's on mute, so say goodbye to Valerie, Latrina. All right, enjoy the show, Val. Okay, Mark, I gotta give you this fact real quick. I got my youngest son in here, so he's only gonna be here for 15 minutes during the start of the show. He's kind of getting into this kind of stuff, and we actually videotaping in our studio. Yeah, so we're gonna get a chance to run it on the show. Just the first 10 minutes of us, bringing the show on. Okay. Wait to the camera, Jordan. Wait to the camera. All right. Okay. All right. Another thing. Sometimes Skype drops my calls, so Latrina is also co-hosting the show. So usually what we do, we go back and forth with our questions, and she'll just finish it up if I left off, and I just dial. It usually takes me just maybe 20 seconds to dial back in. All right, good to go. So you can continue, because sometimes it'll beep. I'm not sure if y'all could. Latrina, did you hear the last time it happened? Did you hear beep? Yeah, you know what I might have to do? I might have to start letting you come in on the dashboard also, and then you can see when I'm gone. That's what we're going to do. I'm going to give you my dialing number also. Okay. All right. Well, we're ready to get started then. Okay. Here we go. All right. We're going to start off with some intro music. Hello, and thank you for stopping by. I'm your host, Jerry Royce, and welcome to Positive Power 21 Network, where you get your positive on. This is a worldwide podcast for growth, wealth, and success. Thank you.
Positive Power 21.org, Internet Radio.
Hello, everybody. Hello. I just want to say when it's all positive, it's all power. Positive Power 21. I want to welcome everybody to the show. I want to thank my good friend Valerie for writing that for me. Thanks, Val. And I want to welcome Latrina, my co-host, to the show. Hi, Latrina.
Hey, Jerry. What's going on?
I am cool. And also we want to welcome my mentor and good friend, Mark Graham, to the show. He's our guest. How you doing, Mark?
I'm doing well, Jerry. How are you?
Super, man. I'm so excited to have you on, man. I lost my first guest earlier today. Something came up with him, but I said, hey, as long as I got Mark G coming up on the show, it's going to be all worth it, man. It's going to be a super positive night, man. So we want to start off just saying you're a powerful brother. I'm glad you accepted this offer to come on the show, and I think this is going to be good for a lot of the people to get a chance to find out, what Mark's world is like.
Oh, wow. Thank you, Jerry. I really appreciate it. I feel privileged that you asked me to do this, really.
That's right. I had to, man. Now, we had an opportunity to work on a project together a few years ago when my family was heavily into book publishing. We took on a children's book. I think it was my first children's book. We did it in full color. You did a spectacular job. And, sometimes it's hard to find people that you work well with. But I thought we were a very good team, man. What you say about that?
Yeah, that was a lot of fun, Jerry. We struck it off right off the bat, at Baltimore City Healthy Start. We kind of had a common background at high school and other interests. And I remember when you asked me, you said, what do you like to do? And I said, well, I like to draw and sketch. And you said, really? And that kind of branched off into the whole publishing thing, and that was a lot of fun. It was,
man. That's always been me. I always try to find out how I can include people, how I can include myself in their life, and bring something positive, to the table. Now, Mark, one of the format that we do on the show with Latrina and I, when we have a young man on the show, I can't remember if you told me you was, I know you're single, but I'm not sure if you are seeing anybody right now. But we kind of try to find out what's going a little bit in the dating world with the individual, and then, with the attitudes that like going on, because, things are different with social media, and people are starting to have long-distance relationships. So we want to find out a little bit what's going on in your world. So I'm going to start out and say, can you give us a little bit of background, what you do, just so the audience get a little familiar with you?
Background in terms of what, my occupation and things of that nature?
Yeah, your interests, your hobbies, those kind of things.
Okay. Well, I'm an accountant for the federal government, and I love what I do. I'm interested in art, as I mentioned earlier, and you discovered that. That's something that I've always done ever since I can remember. I've always sketched or drawn or done that sort of thing. So, and one of my bucket list items is to someday have a studio where I can devote a lot more time to that. Unfortunately, I can't do it as much. I can't do things creatively as much as I'd like. But again, I do enjoy my full-time day job also. And I guess my other big hobby is I like to cycle. I like to be active, and cycling is one way that I find keeps me in shape and keeps me energized and challenges me. It allows me to kind of hang out and network with a lot of positive people. It's kind of like the new golf. So it keeps you in really great shape, and I try to do at least 2 or 3 100-mile rides or ride events during the year.
Wow.
So this coming year, I hope to do it 4 or 5, among other riding venues and events that I do.
I remember that. I remember you saying you were in bike riding years ago.
Yes, I still do that. I really picked that up a notch. I ride with a bunch of great people, guys and gals, and they all try to set high goals for what they want to achieve cycling-wise. And when you're out there riding, you're kind of hanging out, You're not just riding. You're not just exercising. You're out there having fun with folk. The youngest person that I ride with is 69.
Get out of here.
Yeah, he's 69 years old. And
I'm going to have to talk to you about that. Yeah.
That brother can ride. Sometimes I have a hard time keeping up with him.
Oh.
And I'm talking about 100-mile rides. If he's not doing 50 miles, he's not happy.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm not ready for you guys. I'm like 50. I'm like 50 blocks maybe 5 blocks. Wow. Hey, do you guys ride with that Baltimore bike party?
No, not all of us. Some of us do that. But that pace is probably a little slow.
Yeah. That's like a big party. That's all that is.
Yeah, it's more social than bike riding.
Yeah,
I'd like to feel that exhilaration, feel that physical challenge when I ride. So.
Yeah. One of the things I liked about that Baltimore bike party, they do it at night. I think like after 9 o'clock, and I think everybody just come out. They have a theme, and people dress up, and I think they have a spot they stop at, and they dance and play music, and it's like a social thing, like you said. So I think a lot of bike clubs do come together just for that social event. It seemed like it's pretty fun, and I said maybe I'll try it. I get my bike out the closet, get it repaired, and get me an outfit, and maybe just hang out when the summer comes. Try to get in shape, and maybe I'll be ready for you guys one day.
Absolutely. I encourage you to do that. I think biking it just extends your life.
I love it.
When I look at, like I said, the young man that rides with me is 69, and he's not the only guy that's in his 60s that I ride with. I would say the average age is probably about 52.
All right.
So
my kind of group.
A couple of guys that are early 60s. So, but yeah, I think that they are vibrant because they've always been active all their lives through cycling and other things. They picked up the cycling thing, and cycling is one of those things that you can do well until to your more mature ages.
Yeah.
So anyway. And if you start off like you said, kind of slow and easy, you can build up quickly. You can build up quickly before you know it. You'll be doing 25 miles without even thinking about it if you start riding.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right. And like any hobby that's out here now, it's going to cost you a little money because I know I'm definitely going to put it in the shop. I know you have to probably keep your bike tuned up. Now, are you taking your bike to a bike shop that you can tell everybody about?
Well, the one that I normally tune my bike is the Princeton Bike Shop on Falls Road.
Oh, yeah, they're still there. Okay.
There are a lot of good shops around. When you would really get into it, you go to the specialty shops. There's Race Pace on Route 40 and other locations. And what else is there? There's Performance Bike. There are a lot of shops that you go, but when you get into it more seriously, you don't want to go to Kmart.
Right.
You'll want to go to a shop like the one I mentioned and get sized up and fitted because the bike should fit you comfortably so you can perform and be comfortable while you're riding it.
Absolutely.
And invest in a fairly – the more you invest in the biking or the bicycle, the better you're going to perform and the more comfortable you're going to be.
Yeah, like anything, man. Anything. Yeah, like pool, bowling, you name it. Absolutely. All right, man. Yeah, we appreciate you sharing that. And we're going to move on to the next segment of the show. We're moving up on 10:15. We're going to start the segment off with Latrina coming out of the gates with the first question for you.
All right, Mark. We're going to go ahead and move it on a little bit. As I'm sure some of our audience is curious, are you single?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
Okay, are you looking?
Passively.
Explain. Intrigue us some. What does that mean?
Passively means that if I'm blessed to find or be in a relationship, then that's great. But if not, I've always been a person who's comfortable with wherever I am in life.
Okay.
And I just don't want to be in a relationship unless it's, I think that relationship is going to help both of us grow and become stronger, you know. So I'm willing to kind of wait for the right situation to come along.
Now, while you're waiting for the right situation, what are some of the things that you look for in a young lady or woman, whatever age range that might be? What are some of the qualities that you look for in a good woman?
The qualities in a good woman. I don't know if it's necessarily quality, but what I'd like to happen in my next relationship is for me to feel that the person I'm with is my best friend.
Got you.
And that person is truly interested in me, right? And I find that people, and I'm going to try to be, people tend to be kind of self-motivated when they get into relationships today. People, in my mind, get into relationships for what they can get out of the relationship, not necessarily for what they can give. So I want that person to be I want to feel that person is my best friend. They've got my back, but as important to me is that I want to feel that she knows I'm her best friend, too. Does that make sense?
Yes, that makes perfect sense.
Right. Because
Absolutely,
if she doesn't feel that, then that's going to be a challenge for the relationship. So from that kind of, I guess, spiritual basis, then the other things, I want that person to be spiritual, love the Lord. Hopefully they'll be active because I'm an active person, and I like a little bit of everything. I mean, you name it, theater, staying at home, going. It doesn't matter. I tend to like a lot of stuff.
Right.
So those are the types of things I guess I would look for in a relationship.
All right, Mark. Now you name some things you like. What about cooking? Do you enjoy cooking? Now I understand you just bought yourself a beautiful home. I'm sure it came with a beautiful kitchen. Are you throwing down in there?
Yeah, I just made some spaghetti with ground turkey with a little green pepper and onions and a salad. That's something I threw together tonight. But I like to cook survival food. I mean, I'm not necessarily gourmet, but I can cook. So, I mean, to the point where my son, he made requests when he was younger, like, Dad, when I was frying chicken. I don't fry chicken now, but when I was frying chicken, he was like, Dad, when are you gonna make some fried chicken? Or,
man,
things. So, I do okay. But it was something that I guess my mom instilled in my brother and I. When I was a young man, she said, you need to learn how to cook. And I'm like, Mom, that's not what guys do. And she said, well, yes, you're wrong. Some of the best cooks in the best restaurants are men.
That's true.
She got me that logic, right? So she taught, start with, the breakfast stuff, that sort of thing, and it kind of went from there. So my brother and I can both cook, but she always felt that her children should be well-rounded and know a little bit of everything so that you can take care of yourselves. So.
That's right. Shout out to moms. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. All right.
Absolutely.
All right, Mark, I'm going to drop this a little bit, and then Latrina going to roll on you next. All right, Mark, now, you're pretty much the model of a perfect black man in a lot of people's eyes. You got the great job, the government job. You moved up the ladder pretty fast, so you're established, stable. There's no worry. Just depends on what's going on with the government at the time, and look like we're in good shape right now.
Yes.
Financially. You just got yourself a lovely home. You're an active guy. I know you enjoy nice cars and you like to travel. Are the women lining up? Because you definitely you have what they're looking for. You got the personality. You're a very cordial guy, very polite. I know your mom is proud of you. So are they lining up for you right now? I mean, what's going on? I mean, do you have your picks? Is that the deal?
Yes, I guess I do. But as I mentioned, when I was a younger man, it's different than now. Now it's, I'm not about the quantity. It's, when you're younger, you go through all that. Now I want peace and I want something good. So, one of my friends said, well, you don't, you're not in a relationship now, but I know you can be. And he's right, but, I just don't want to be in a relationship for the sake of being in a relationship. You know what I mean?
Right. But so you're saying that she hasn't crossed your path yet?
No.
Okay, so that's the deal.
Right.
Because when she crossed your path, you know it. So, Trini, remember we had Troy on the show?
Right, yeah.
And what we were talking about, and Troy was like, I know what you're talking about. That can easily happen.
Well, Mark, you say she hasn't crossed your path. Has there been any women that possibly have caught your attention, or were there some turnoffs, or, exactly what's been coming across your path?
Well, the last relationship that I was in, I was actually engaged.
Okay.
But it did not work out. And since then, that was for lack of it was just painful to go through that whole process. So I'm a little bit more, I guess, cautious going forward. But through that process, I think I've learned a lot about myself and the types of things that I believe I want out of a relationship. And I mentioned some of those early in the conversation. And now I'm at the point in life where, you can meet someone and really in seconds you can kind of know where their spirit is coming from.
Right. That's true.
And so I'm at the point where it's not necessarily to go beyond that if right off the bat you're not getting that positiveness, you're not getting that positive energy. There's so much anger in people in relationships today because, people bring their baggage and stuff. So they're coming to the relationship, with the chip on their shoulder and that sort of thing. And what I've found is that's just not beneficial to me or that person. So I guess what I'm looking for is, like I said, is that person I feel is my friend, but that person is going to be a positive person right off the bat. They're going to be supportive. They're going to come with an open mind, ready to embrace the relationship and kind of lift each other up. And that's hard to find, I believe, today.
Yeah,
I really do.
Yeah.
And that's the challenge because, again, like I said, there's a whole lot of anger in relationships.
Yeah, right. Yeah, a lot of those girls got tread on them right now. We're in our 50s now, and you figure you meet somebody now, they've probably been in a marriage.
Absolutely.
Maybe two, because I have a few people said they have been married twice already.
Absolutely.
In their 50s. So you're going to get a lot of that.
Right.
Now, Mark, and do you have a problem with a ready-made family? I mean, you meet that woman, she may have two kids. It's not out there. Oh.
I love children. I've been in relationships and with women who have children. I have a grown son. That's not the issue. In fact, some relationships I've been in, I'm like, okay, I can keep the kid and just get out of this relationship. I don't have any problem with relationships.
But see, this is the deal. Sometimes, Mark, you look at now, we're in our 50s. Right. You meet a young lady now, she's going to have children that's in their 20s, and
correct.
They may be, the child from hell, that she's dealing with. And that may be why she's having problems maintaining relationships. But she sparked you. I mean, she's the woman you just been talking about. You connecting. Would you be there to help her with that child? I mean, would you, what would you say about that?
Well, absolutely. I think that I think I'm a positive and supporting person. I tend to, when I get into a relationship, I'm going to give you all the trust. I do that all up front. I mean, it's like, look, I'm an open book. I trust you. You have to prove to me that I can't trust you. And so I'm going to support that. That's just my nature. But like I mentioned before, I mean, the person that I was involved with, that I was in my last relationship, is a sweet person. But at the end of the day, I think that when I look at us, our relationship, I don't think she considered me to be her best friend. I think she wanted to be married, and she knew I was a good guy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And I think that certain approach, I realize that a lot of people have that certain approach. So because I want to be married and because he's a good guy, I must love him. But that's not necessarily the case. You know, it's hard, maybe hard to articulate, but love to me is when you put something else above yourself and your wants.
Yes.
You know, that's what it is. And I think people today tend to do things with a condition. It's, well, you know, I did this for you, so you should be doing this for me. You know, and
yes,
that's not necessarily love. I read this thing and it talked about, I can't remember all the terms, but it spoke of, you know, Christ, and it kind of set up this situation where during his time there might have been 5 terms for the word love. A friendship type of love, there was a term, and then there was eros, which was kind of a self-seeking, self-satisfying love, which is eros is derivative of erogenous and that sort of thing. And the Greeks thought that was the idealized type of love. And they knew it was imperfect, but that they thought was the ideal. But when Christ spoke, he talked about agape, which was a sacrificing love. It was where you diminish yourself sort of thing.
Yeah.
So I've seen that kind of love in my lifetime. My grandparents, my parents, you know, I think that we've kind of grown or evolved away from that. The world is more selfish.
Yeah.
More into their own gratification and their own pleasure. So when people get into relationships, you know, they get into it because they want that other person to please them.
Right.
That's priority. And that's not what I hope to have. I know it's out there. It's going to be hard to find. But if that person is a person who's loving like that but has a child that's difficult, I can deal with that.
Yeah, yeah. It sounds like reality TV, man. The relationship. And I was laughing because I've been thinking about my wife would say, honey, if you rub my back, I'll rub your feet. Or I'll fix that, you know, that meal for you if you do this. You know, like like you said, you want to trade something off.
Right.
But you got to have that friendship, man. And I feel like, you know, I think about that all the time. It's like we can just, you know, we won't see each other all day. She can come right in the house right now. She know what I'm doing, and I know what she's going to be doing. She's going to sit down. She's going to watch a show. She's going to probably do a little bit of work. And when I get done, I'm going to go upstairs, and it's just like, you know, with no separation, man. We're going to sit down. We're going to greet each other. And it's like we friends. You know, we still all over each other, but at the same time, we really, really good friends. You know, we really deeply not just
care
love
for
each other. Yeah, care for each other. And we can talk, and we just enjoy it. It could be 5 minutes. You know, she could be going her way, and I'm going my way. You know, because I know she got things she has to do on Saturday with her dad. But I can't wait till she get back home, and we can't wait for everybody to get back home. My kids alike, you know, we just can't wait to, you know, for everybody to get back home. We may not be jumping all up and down like cheerleaders, but like emotionally, we just can't wait till we're all back home together, man.
Man, you are truly blessed, and man, it's exciting. It's absolutely exciting to hear you say that. You know, I know it's out there, but you don't find a diamond just walking down the street.
That's true.
You know, you can find a lot of rocks, you know, but you won't find that rare thing that you have. Just, you know, and rather than me waste my time and someone else's time, I'd rather, you know, just wait. You know, I'll go and I'll meet people and talk to folks and that sort of thing. But now it's like, look, if you know, it's not going to, you know, if I don't get that sense that this is a caring person that I'm dealing with, then I don't need to invest beyond that. You know what I mean?
That's right. That's right. Was that deep, Latrina? Latrina's is going down that road right now. What did you?
I am. He's truly God sent completely. If I Never believed in true love. I definitely believe that now. He completely completes me, and I complete him, which
Wonderful.
is completely awesome.
OMG, that's great. I'm excited for you guys. So
I know, man. I mean, Mark, she shot me. I mean, Latrina is like one of the sweetest people you ever want to meet. And when she told me, because she kind of disappeared for a little bit, I said, "Where the heck is she?" You know, because she was in between, leaving Baltimore, going back home, and I couldn't, during the Thanksgiving, there was like there was some stuff going on. I was like, I wonder what's going on. And then she dropped it on me. I was like, what
wonderful.
the heck?
Well, I'm going to interview the interviewers since, so how did that come about?
Well, we met through a mutual friend. I was in Baltimore for work, and a little bit before I was getting ready to leave, I got introduced to him, and almost instantly we just connected. You know how you just know. Mm-hmm. Some people might take you a long time, but I just knew. He's like another me. We complete each other's sentences. Wow. And I end up spending Thanksgiving with his family, got to meet his kids and so forth. And he's amazing. The conversations that we have, we've talked to people who've maybe been married for 15, 20 years. Mm-hmm. They're amazed by some of the questions and the things that we've already discussed and just kind of get to know about each other. Sometimes people wait to the last minute to start asking financial questions, debt questions. What do you feel about children and just everything? And so we've completely just put everything out on the table.
Oh, that's just great. I mean, but you felt free enough to talk. So obviously you felt that he was friend enough for you, that he cared enough about you.
Right, and that makes a huge difference. Communication has played a major part, especially since we're so far from each other right now.
Wow.
Yeah, and they doing a complete social media thing too, using all the technology. They have date night on Thursday, so don't let Jerry call her on Thursday. I bet Ty's like, that dang Jerry. It's not like he paying her.
Wow. See, I'm optimistic. But I'm just not gonna go out there and just randomly. I don't know, just date. It's kind of tiring actually to do that.
Right now, do you have a specific age range? I mean, do you date younger women, or do you prefer women older than you, or do you have a huge preference?
No, I really don't. I like I said, if the person is active and healthy and positive, they can be younger, they can be older. I think, though, that if they're too young, though, then there could be a challenge there when it comes to, say, life priorities. Say, for me, for example, I'm not necessarily interested in having children at this stage in life. You know what I mean? So that might be something that could come up. But other than that, no. Age doesn't matter.
Right. All right. Well, Mark, it's funny because we work for an employer that has over 60,000 employees, and I'm not even sure how many of that make up women, and then you look at, fine women and smart women and educated women, and, I'm meeting a lot of these people, and I'm like, wow, and they tell me they're single, and I'm like, I wonder what the deal is with them, because it got to be something, because they come, their first impression is like gold, it's like, wow. So, and that was the reason why I wanted to do this show, because I'm meeting people who are really trying hard, good Christian women, women that are taking care of their kids on their own without the dad being involved. And I mean, strong women, and they having problems attracting these guys. And they're wondering, like, where are they? Like, where would they find a Mark Graham if it was like a beautiful sunny day? I mean, he's not on his bike. Where would they find him?
Wow. I mean, where would you find me? I tend to, I'm a homebody, so it's kind of hard in that respect.
Right.
But like I said, I'm out there, I'm biking or at church or things like that, or with friends or that sort of thing. So probably I might meet someone on a bike course, and that might be the ideal situation. I don't know. But the people that I've been involved with are great people. It's just, and I'm not saying that I'm better or less or whatever. It's just that there was that certain intangible thing there where, I'm talking about professionals, highly educated, on their A game. But that connection that, I talked about earlier where that person spiritually is coming from the perspective of, and like you said, Jerry, when at this stage in the game, people have a lot of baggage, where they're coming with a trustful eye, a respectful perspective, and willing to give and are truly interested in you. That's hard to find.
Yes.
That's the thing that's hard to find. It's not a challenge to find people who are professional and they dress sharply and they own their own homes and they're independent and whatever else that they're doing. But, do you want to be my friend? Do you want to partner up? Are you interested in me? I'll be interested in you, So those are the things that's hard to find.
It is. Now, Mark, let me ask you this now. Now, we talking about being in our 50s, even in your 30s. I'm finding out from listening to a lot of the guests, if you don't come out of college or high school with that person, even if you didn't end up, with that person now. Cause remember we was talking to a couple who were friends in high school and connected, but then life circumstances separated them. I think he went in the military, she got married, he got married. They both got divorced, and they got together. They're about to get married. What they say in October?
Right, in October.
Yes.
I was like, that is crazy.
I think that people's values have changed. And, like I said, from my perspective, and I was talking to one of my coworkers who's in his 30s, and I was talking about customer service. Mm-hmm. And he was talking about a situation where I can expect that person to have that attitude and not want to do this. I'm like, well, wait a minute. I just come from the school that if you're in business, the customer comes first. But at his age, he's never really experienced the perspective that I have. And like I said, the positive and negative is I've seen what a good relationship is, and I think that people, like I said, the world has like I said, evolved or devolved from doing to others as you would have them doing to you, from this thing of considering other folk to a world where, again, the priority is not on the other guy or the other girl.
Right.
It's on you. And, when you're young and you meet someone coming out of high school, you still have that sort of innocence, that sort of you're willing to do for the next person sort of thing. But like you say, over time, a sort of apathy and anger builds up. And it's probably going to be increasingly harder for me at this stage, like you say, Jerry, to find someone. But I still think it's possible. I still think it's possible to do that. There is someone out there.
Right.
Yeah.
That magic's going to happen. I mean, they're going to cross your path.
Yes.
And I mean, it could have been somebody you were acquainted with years ago, maybe. But the time, the season is now.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow.
In the meantime, I'm content. People are like, well, man, how you? But I really am content. I like peace when I come home. Man. That's one thing. It's like when you come home, Jerry, you described a peaceful environment, a loving environment, a friendly environment. It's I know the last couple of relationships that I've been in, man, I'm like, sometimes I've come home and it's been like, oh, what's going to be up next now? What's the latest thing? And from my perspective, often it's not that big a deal, and I'm not trying to minimize what anyone feels or anything like that, but I'm like, wow. Yeah. Anyway, peace, I just rather have peace than to have stress in my life.
Yes.
In any form, with anyone. And
That's
that
right.
includes, talk a little bit about the guys I ride with. But I had a conversation with one of the guys that I ride with somehow I've defaulted to this kind of leader coordinator thing of this bike crew that I'm involved with. And I talked to one of the guys, and I said, I noticed last year that we may get together, and they might be, I don't know, 10, 15 guys and girls riding. You know, it's dominated by guys right now, but a few more ladies are participating. And out of that 10, 15, 4 or 5 of the guys are going to be complaining about something. The ride is too short. The ride is too long. I don't like the uniform. You're going too fast. You're going too slow, right? So, I thought about it. I said, well, if it's such an issue, why are you riding in this group?
That's right. Start your own club.
Start your own club.
Right.
Right?
The fast club. The
why
slow club.
Bring that negativity into, there's one thing that I'm negative about is negativity. It drives me nuts, right? So I'm like, start your own thing. But for 2014, what I told the brother that I was talking to, I said, that's not going to happen in 2014. I'm not going to ride with you. If you got some sort of issue, there's no need for me to ride with you. And I kind of have that approach when it comes to relationship. There's no need if you're negative all the time about something, then why are we doing this? It doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. So anyway, it's got to be good. It's got to feel good. And I know that things aren't perfect, but it's got to feel good.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Whew, man. See, let me ask you this, Mark, before the trainer jump in. Now, how about social media? Have you been down that road yet with the social media sites and the Match.coms and the Harmony? Because I have a buddy who married a fantastic woman off of Harmony.
No, I haven't done that, but it's funny you mentioned one of the guys. He mentioned that. He said, "Man, you should go and try that." Right? But no, I haven't thought about that. So you're saying that this person tried it and liked it and had great results.
Oh. Now, I haven't had him on the show yet. I'm gonna have to get him on because he was the one that encouraged me to get this thing going. Yes, he's not the easiest guy. Now, he's been married before, and I thought she was nice. And he met her at a nightclub at Odell's, believe it or not, his first wife.
Okay.
But some things that happened during that chapter in their lives that they couldn't sustain. But the second wife is from Chicago. They would meet halfway, during the period. I'm not sure of the time that it took before they decided to get engaged and get married. And they just bought a home about a year ago, and I talk to him all the time. And he talks about her like she's just magical.
Wow.
He just loved her to death.
Oh my
just
goodness.
the way he say her name, it makes you want to rename your person that name.
Well, wait a minute. Well, how old is he approximately? I mean, you don't necessarily.
We went to school together. He's older than me. He's 52 now. He turned 52 in November. Okay. And like I said, he's not the easiest guy. I went to high school with him, and I used to have to bail him out of fights all the time, and these were with his friends.
Yeah.
So,
for me, it's like I know when I was younger, and hindsight is 20/20. But I know when I was younger, I don't know if I was prepared to be married, to be a husband and that sort of provider and that sort of thing, and now that I'm at, the stage in my life where I can be, things are different. So, most of the people in my circle are married.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, most of the people in my circle. I have 3 close friends who aren't, but for the most part, everyone is married. So, but anyway, it's God's will. I mean, if that person comes along, and
she will.
Maybe
She will.
social media might be one of the avenues to kind of nudge it along. So be it. That's fine. I may have to look into that.
That's right.
I haven't. I'm probably the worst when it comes to Facebook and Twitter and even email. I'm sitting in front of them most of the day, so when I come home, I don't go near a computer, unfortunately.
Yeah, the job could do that to you. You know, my last position was like that, man. But now, you know, since I'm over in the D.C., you know, with you guys, it's, you know, I
Yep.
love coming home and putting another 8 in on the computer. All right,
Wow.
Latrina, you want to chime in on them? It's your turn to burn.
Well, I want to know, as far as for self development, what kind of things do you do, or even kind of preparing yourself um, for maybe your next relationship? We're all a work in progress, and we take things from past relationships that, you know, help us endure and make us better. So what kind of things do you do as far as preparing yourself, and also just some things for yourself for self-development?
For relationships or just any
In
kind of?
general, relationships, and also what do you do in regards for yourself to help self-develop yourself and continue to improve yourself?
Okay. Well, the one thing that I try to do is just to stay active through cycling, and one of the things I'm considering doing is actually this box fit workout, you know, to kind of incorporate, get my other muscles engaged that from a physical aspect. Now, you know, recently, as Jerry mentioned, I bought a house, and that was one of my goals, and I have another property in the city, my old house that I'm renting out, and that is working out pretty well. I'm very satisfied with the way that's working out, and it's almost kind of leading me toward, it probably will lead me toward considering getting additional property. In fact, my tenant mentioned to me some other people who wanted to know if I had other properties to rent. So I'm kind of finding that avenue kind of opening up for me. So over the next year or so, I'm going to explore that. In addition to that, what I'd like to do over the next 12 months, is to get a certification, a government equivalent of a CPA certification. It's called the CGFM. And that's something I've been working on for the last 2 or 3 years, and I hope to start testing on that by summer and kind of wrap it up by the following summer to get that certification. In terms of relationships, I just want to be continue to be open-minded and positive. I don't want that anger that I see out there. Hopefully I'm not an angry person. So I think that that's just so important not to carry that into the next relationship. Any kind of what happened in the past relationship is going to affect what's going to happen in this next relationship. So I want to go with an open mind and try to be an open book and a blank slate, if you will, and let that relationship develop the way it's going to develop. But again, you know, that foundation has to be one that's positive, based on true agape love, that unselfish sort of thing where you know that person's got your back. You know,
that's right.
For it to occur, and you know, people all the time. I mean, my friends and coworkers, and so they're well, let me introduce you to this person and come to this happy hour over here and do this. So it's going to happen. It's just that, you know, I'm not trying to rush in anything, you know, and if it does happen, I think it'll be kind of like your experience. It'll be like, oh, wow, yeah, this is it.
That's right. And that was kind of surprising for Latrina, because you were just basically just hanging out. I mean, I think somebody told you what the deal was, but you weren't really expecting anything, were you?
I was not expecting that. You know, I had a few things going on back here, and I just wasn't expecting that at all.
Wow.
See?
But I was open, you know.
I think that's how it's going to happen. You know,
that's how it's going to happen. All right, Mark, we coming up on the last quarter hour. Now, we want to hear a little bit about your last date that you had. Tell us about the last date, you know, what went on there, if you can remember it.
The last date? Wait a minute, let me think.
Yeah, you spent some money. That's the question that people want to know. Are you spending money on them?
You always spend money on a date. You know, I've gone out with friends. I don't know if you call that a date situation. I'm trying to remember the last date. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I think you're ready for Harmony.com, man.
Yeah. Well, you need to take somebody out on a date, Mark.
What's that? You can take somebody out on a date?
You should do like I do, stand in the lottery line, man. I see some great sites walk past that lottery line sometimes.
It's funny because recently my coworker invited me to a party, and that was maybe a month ago. And, I'm somewhat naive sometimes, but I met a person there that I had a pretty good feeling about, right? But at the time I met this person, she had a ring on her finger. So I'm thinking, we're having this great conversation, right? And she has a ring on her hand, I'm like, okay, she's a real friendly person, so we're having a good time, right? Mm-hmm. And the next, whenever I saw my coworker, she said, well, you're really impressed. I won't mention this person's name, but I said, really? And she said, then she gave me some background, and I probably should have asked and not made the assumption, but she had the ring on, but her husband was deceased by about 3 or 4 years. Right?
Oh, yeah.
So, anyway, but she seems like a really nice person, and so, I'll probably, cautiously go in that direction.
Okay.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. Because matter of fact, my youngest son, some guys he played football with, mom lost her husband. Man, it was really crazy. Man, he was playing flag football, I think, on Thanksgiving Day, and I think he was only in his 40s, and he had a heart attack.
Oh,
and I think her second child wasn't even born at the time, so he never got a chance to meet his dad. So, because she was pregnant at the time. Right. And so they've been keeping his memory alive. But she has this wonderful, wonderful fiance. Man, this guy is fantastic. Wow. And she still honors her late husband on his birthday, and I think it's another special time. And this guy is right there supporting her. Man, matter of fact, they just got engaged just a few months ago, right when the football season ended for the kids. And I was like, wow, man, that's what you call a man, because she still seemed like to me that she's still in love with. I know she's still in love with her husband, matter of fact, but it's like his memory is just so alive that I'm just wondering, this other guy said, this gotta be a strong cat, man, that can live with this, this shadow, this guy.
Yeah, I mean, but at this stage, Jerry, like you mentioned, people have, been married and divorced, and all kinds of things happen. Mm-hmm. So, the most important thing is how the two people care for each other today.
Right, and I'm wondering now if this woman you're seeing now, she's probably wants somebody physically in her life, and who knows how, what were they going through at the time before he died?
Well, I don't know, but I have a feeling based on the conversation I had with her is that she had a good relationship. I mean, we talked about our children. I mean, her daughter's married, and she was actually a Rhodes Scholar over in France, her daughter. And she married a brother from France, and he came over here. So, I mean, it just sounds like she's a positive person. She's a retired professor at Morgan State. So,
pursue that, man. Pursue that, man.
Right.
Come on, brother. The writing's on the wall, man. You gotta spend some money.
I'm gonna look into. Hopefully, she'll be like, "Okay, you didn't take too long." You know what I mean?
Yeah. How long? What you talking about? The Christmas holiday?
No, it was after that.
Yeah, man. You got. I gotta go. I gotta walk around your desk, man. We gotta talk, man. We gotta talk, man. All right. Well, look, appreciate having you on the show, Mark. We will give Latrina, to close out, and then you can give us your final remarks, and we'll be over. Okay.
Well, thank you, guys.
Well, I just want you to possibly just let our audience, the ladies out there, if, they've been looking, or they're kind of frustrated, or they're just kind of looking for someone special. What kind of advice can you give them in regards to just being patient and just waiting for that person to come into their lives?
What kind of I guess when the next relationship that they consider, just be open-minded about it, and take that relationship for face value, and don't base what happens in that relationship on what happened in a past relationship, good or bad. That's the most important thing. I think a guy needs to feel like they're respected and loved, and we really tune into that respect thing. But if you don't feel you can respect the guy, then walk away. Just don't stay in the relationship. That's just so vitally important to us, that love and respect thing. So
yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Yeah, it's a book. There's a book I read on that very subject, and I got it at New Psalmist actually. And there's a spiritual basis or scripture basis to that. And we're wired for that, respect and love, and a woman is wired for love and respect. So, and when we kind of understand certain things about how we operate, then that relationship can be that much stronger, where we tune into the respect. A woman wants that unconditional love. And if we give that unconditional love, in the right situation, we'll get unconditional respect, and vice versa. And it's kind of circular. So that's kind of the thing that I would advise. Love that person, be his friend, care about him.
Yeah, that's right. You hear that, Latrina?
I hear that.
Well, she's doing it.
Yes.
She got to keep doing it though.
I will.
See, I seen some girls change, Mark. Well, not girls, but I seen women change once they got that ring, that little round thing.
I mean, I've talked to her for a few, and I just get the sense that that's not going to happen, because I can kind of hear that glow in her voice.
Oh yeah,
she got it. We're trying to continue to keep God completely in our relationship.
Absolutely.
And with that, I feel as though we'll be able to endure anything. So that's kind of our primary focus.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'll just share this real quick, if you guys don't mind. There's one little passage in that book that I read that was kind of, and I kind of talked to the guy about it, and I'll do it real fast. But the guy was counseling a couple, and the wife was talking, and the husband was silent, and the counselor's a male, and he was the guy that wrote the book. And this particular thing, this passage in the Bible, was an epiphany for him, and that's what prompted him to write the book. But anyway, he said that at one point the wife said, I love my husband, but I don't respect him.
Ooh.
Right? And he said, well, let me ask you this. If your husband said, I respect my wife, but I don't love her, how would you feel? Right? And it goes on to say, she said, well, that's the worst thing he could say. I mean, I would be devastated and, that sort of thing. He said, well, what you said has the same effect on him, And, when I talk to relatives, my sister, whomever, and I share that article, they kind of nod when I, say what she said. When I talk to my son and other men, they're like, oh, she said she don't respect. I mean, there's just an immediate reaction from most men.
Yeah.
When that, and it was an epiphany for a lot of ladies to understand that perspective. Right. So it's kind of circular. I mean, one shouldn't start first. It should be ongoing. And that unconditional love that you receive, if you get that unconditional respect, it's just going to continually go that way. And you can work through any problem if that kind of spirit is in a relationship.
Yeah, absolutely. 22 years, brother.
Man. I want to grow up, Jerry.
So did that make me now, can I get the doctor in front of my name with the 22, or I need 25 years to call myself doctor? Dr. Sampson.
You could probably write a book. Write a book.
Dr. Voice. Yeah, it's time for Latrina to write my book.
I'm happy for both of you guys.
Thank you, man. Appreciate that, man. You're one of my heroes, man.
Well, no, you're my hero, man. You have a solid relationship for many years, and that's phenomenal, man.
It is, man. I'm just, she support me. Now, she's not down here, manning the control board. But she gave me a young son to do that. She's not down here manning the camera, but I got an older son that she helped me raise, and she's not on here. I'm singing my intros, but she gave me a daughter to do that. So it's been blessed.
Okay. I wonder who was singing the intro. Okay.
Yeah, baby girl, 13. That's the issue we got to deal with. Yeah,
I can hear the excitement in your voice.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah. That's right.
Wonderful.
But look, Big Mark, I appreciate you guys being on here and the people who tuned in for this whole hour. It was a fantastic show, and we about to end it. So we're going to end it on this note, and everybody take care and continue to tune in at positivepower.org, and also go down to the bottom of the website and you'll see Uncovering Mr. Right. We got a couple love stories in there that you can enjoy from some people who've been married just as long as I have. So take care, everybody. And again, when it's all positive, it's all power. Positive Power 21. Thank you for tuning in to the Positive Power 21 Network. Team 21 would like to thank you all for tuning in, and please spread the word and tell a friend. This is Jerry Royce at Positive Power 21, where we get our positive on.